He's connecting. He's connecting. We're live. You can go now.
Oh, welcome to Super Punters once again. Super Punter Dami, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine, Super Ponta Oye. It's nice to have you once again on this wonderful program. I mean, yesterday was a brilliant game at the World Cup, so I can't wait for today's matches.
Yesterday was a cracker. Actually, just like you predicted, the South Africa Mexico game to go. That's what we actually saw yesterday. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
did the
definitely.
South Africans did they surprise you by not really showing up, or is it the home crowd that actually swallowed them?
I think it's a bit of both. The South Africa that I know, they always try to show up in every match, even though they might still go ahead and lose that match. But you still see them trying to attack, trying to, at least trying to fight. You understand? But the South Africa that played yesterday was
Super Ponta
was a
Chigod has
draw.
just joined
So
us. Chigod, how are you this morning?
yeah, all right. So can I go ahead?
Yeah, please do.
All right, so I think it's a bit of both. When you're playing against the host country with all the fans, with all the crowd, I mean, the stadium was packed full yesterday,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I think it's going to affect any player. I mean, if you remember Nigeria versus Morocco, just at the last AFCON in the semifinals,
Yeah,
even our boys had to say, even though they got experience playing in big stadiums with fans,
yeah.
they entered the stadium and they almost got swallowed because the fans, the crowd alone,
The crowd
everywhere
was
was,
massive.
everywhere was in Mexican colors yesterday. So I must understand what the South African players actually went through. But then that's not an excuse for the woeful performance they had yesterday. It was a very, very woeful performance. I was
It was it,
expecting
it was
better,
appalling.
from them. It was appalling. They kept on misplacing passes. And one thing I'm going to say is that why is it a must that you play from the back? I've been saying this thing since Pep Guardiola came to the Premier League. Pep
Okay.
Guardiola, seems to be the one that invented, or not, he wasn't the one that invented it anyway.
Actually, it
But then he
wasn't.
made it popular
He mastered it.
playing from the back. Yeah, so he
Yeah.
made it popular playing from. He mastered it. Thank you very much. He mastered it. So everybody started playing from the back. And South Africa, if you're playing against maybe a Zimbabwe or a Zambia or Uganda, you can decide to play from the back.
You can decide. Yes, yes, I
No,
get you.
but when you're playing against a country, a host country for that matter, that is better than you. Because prior to that game yesterday, Mexico had played in their last 5 games. They won three and drew two. The two they drew was against Portugal and Belgium.
Yeah.
Those are the only two games they drew.
Yeah.
And then they won
Top tier
the
teams. Yeah.
other game. So, I mean, they are far better than South Africa. So, I don't know why they were playing from the back. I think African teams need to learn from this. Unai Emery against Arsenal, against Bayern Munich, he wasn't even passing from the back. Against
Yeah.
Arsenal to the very even Arteta himself was not passing from the back. So, once
True.
you pass
True.
from the back, so that you're actually good
I
enough to play
think I,
football.
I, I think the problem is the flexibility of the coaches. Probably once you can have the idea of okay passing from the back, but when you see who you're playing, then you have to
Yeah,
change tactics. So it's the flexibility that I think actually affected South Africa, apart from the home crowd and whatever that is. That is, but this is the World Cup, the biggest stage in world football, the biggest
of course.
stage. Now, talking of this home crowd, we have Canada today. Canada playing Bosnia. Canada is playing Bosnia, and as the host nation, what are your expectations from the Canada Bosnia game?
Okay. All right. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All
Canada
right.
versus Bosnia.
Okay,
No,
okay, okay. The
Canada.
network actually
Canada.
froze.
Canada
I
is
was talking.
actually Canada is actually chasing their first win in a World Cup tournament.
Of course, of course. For
So
Bosnia have not qualified. They've not been at the World Cup since 2014,
since
right? The
2014,
last time
yes,
Bosnia and Herzegovina qualified for the World Cup was in 2014. For Canada, I mean, they were at the last World Cup, right? And
yes.
they are growing as a footballing nation because me and you know that Canada, USA, they are not footballing countries. They don't really, you understand? Football is not
Uh,
their number one.
not their number one sport.
You know, so when you want to talk about ice hockey or basketball, or you understand those kind of
Basketball,
sports,
yes,
or
yes.
the
American
American
football,
football,
yeah.
they do that, you know. But for this, I think they are growing. I mean, Canada have some brilliant players, and they're talking about Jonathan David, who
Yeah.
is now playing in Juventus. They've got Alfonso
Yes.
Davis, even though I don't think Alfonso Davis will be able to play this. They even have some Nigerian players in there, that have naturalized and are playing for Canada. Canada, based on what I've seen from them, because they are a very difficult team to also beat. Even at the last World Cup, they really showcased, their talent. It was a very difficult one for teams to actually win against Canada. So I expect the Canada that to be so rugged, so fast. I don't think Canada is going to relent for anybody. I don't see them, I don't see them, not running. They are a team that is filled with runners. I mean, even when it comes to athletics, Canada is always a team that knows how to run and they like to run a lot. So I'm expecting a Canada that actually does that today against Bosnia. Bosnia, on the other hand, is a team. Hello, are you there? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So for
Super. Okay.
Bosnia and Herzegovina, I'm with you. So
Okay. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Bosnia and Herzegovina is so yeah. So I was saying, I mean, I've spoken about Canada and how
Yes.
brilliant they can be. They're a very
Yes.
difficult team to beat. You
To break
understand?
down. Yes.
And their team filled with runners. They are always running and running and running and running. I mean, many black players in that team as well. You understand? So I
Yes. A whole
expect a
lot
very
of
difficult
naturalized
match for
players.
Bosnia. Yeah. So, but Bosnia are a team that, I mean, they are coming off a victory over Italy. They defeated Italy, at the playoffs, coming to this
Yes.
tournament. They are a
Making
team that, you know, they have the experience and the Dzeko
Edin
with
Dzeko,
them.
40-year-old Edin Dzeko.
And you, but me and you know that Edin Dzeko, as old as he is, he still got that experience to actually
Yeah.
punish any team, any defense. And
Any
I'm
defense,
sure he's going to,
actually.
get his
He's
opportunity
got he's
tonight
got a very good
against
positioning.
Canada. Yeah, very good positioning. That's where experience comes in. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's going to be a battle of the fittest. There is a Dzeko with Bosnia. There is Jonathan David with Canada, and Bosnia also got some cool players in them. I think
Yeah.
this game is
Yeah.
quite balanced, right? I think
Okay.
this game is quite balanced. To be honest with you, I don't see a victory in this one. I see a draw in this game.
Wow.
I'm going for a 1-1 or a 2-2. Yeah, I'm going for a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw in this because looking at both teams, I think they are quite balanced. Bosnia are not that top team in Europe. They are a decent team. In fact, when they defeated Italy at the playoffs, it was a surprise to everybody. Italy scored first, they equalized, and it was their penalties, and they defeated Italy coming to the World Cup. So I see a draw in this anyways. Maybe 1-1 or 2-2.
1-1. That's a under 2.5. 2-2 is over 2.5. Which is, are you looking at it being a high scoring match or low scoring?
Let's just say I see a goal in this. I see a
Oh,
goal in this.
you say go. Okay.
GG. I go for GG.
Okay.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
I,
It's safe
I
to
I
say.
can't take anything
But
away. I can't take anything away from
go.
okay. I can't take anything away from Edin Dzeko because he's a beautiful, magnificent, experienced player. So I think he's just the main factor that Bosnia has in this game. But going against a Canada who is actually very compact, they play together, and just like you said earlier, they run. They have runners. They know how to run. They play a kind of massive attack, massive defense kind of game. So it's going to be tough for
Yeah.
Bosnia, in my own opinion. Um, well, if Zeko is on his A game, one goal from Bosnia. Canada, on the other hand, I believe the home advantage is going to play something, and at least they nick one goal. Yeah, so maybe a goal, or maybe a 1-0 to Canada. I see Canada scoring though, no matter what it is. I see Canada scoring, and the home advantage, and the push for them to have their first win in the World Cup. I see that playing. I see that playing now. So Canada has to score. Canada is going to score. Canada is going to score. So maybe a 1-0 or a 1-1 or a 1-1. That's
Okay.
what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of.
So that means Canada win or draw for you.
Yes, Canada will not. Yes, for sure. Canada will not for sure.
All right then. All right,
Canada will not draw. Canada will
I
not draw.
totally agree with what you're saying, bro. I mean, Canada are the host nation, and like you said, they've not won at the World Cup before in
Yes,
their history.
yes.
These are victory and FIFA World Cup,
At least
and I mean
what
they are playing at home.
what better way to get
They are playing at home.
your first win if you can't do it at home in front of your people. So that's I
Well, but they are
feel.
playing. I think they are going to get their first win when they play against Qatar. I mean, Qatar is in that group, right? So I
Yes,
think they will
yes.
get their first win again. You know, it will be an easy game too
Yeah,
because
it won't be an easy game. It won't be an easy game. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game. It's not a walkover, but it is.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it is for Canada's. It is Canada's game to lose. While at this, USA Paraguay, USA actually as the host nation too. They are playing tomorrow morning, and USA has a whole lot of players to look out for. They have their
Yeah.
Captain America in Christian Pulisic. Captain America, that's what he's called, his nickname there. And they have this exciting young player,
Folari Balogun.
playing Folari Balogun. Yeah, thank you. Folari Balogun playing in the French
Yeah.
league. Now, what's your take for that game, US Paraguay?
Well, in as much as the US are the host country, in as much as they might not have the top players like other countries, right? The US have always shown at least a fight at any World Cup they qualify to. They've always shown a fight. It's hard for you to see any World Cup that US plays in and they don't even qualify to the second round. At least they make it out of the group stage, they get to the to the second round, and they actually do well. So for the US in this one, I think they're going to get a victory. I mean, don't get me wrong, Paraguay have they have great players. It's a South American country. It's a country that they are quite dogged. They are quite strong as well, and they have players also playing in Europe. But then US also have players playing in Europe, right? So being US being the team that is the host country, right? Playing their first game, and based on their antecedents, giving Uruguay, USA, pardon, USA always at least trying to make it to the second round of tournament, or even quarterfinals in some cases. I expect a US victory in this one. But I see a 2-1, 3-1 victory for US.
A 2-1-3-1. Okay.
Yeah.
What about corners, cards? What are your predictions for that?
Well, I mean, the first game of this World Cup gave us three red cards, right?
Yeah.
And
Like it's crazy. Like I open mouth like waiting the
yeah,
happen for a year. Three red cards. It's insane. It's
three
insane.
red cards.
Hmm.
And you don't see that as a World Cup opener. But
Yeah, you
then
don't.
we've always seen cards at the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
USA, Paraguay, a super South American team is always rigid. They are always rough. Yeah, I mean, they tackle hard. They don't take they don't take football lightly, right?
Yeah,
So
true.
there might be a red card in this one, but to keep it on a low, I see at least four yellow cards in this game.
Okay.
That's about
Four yellow
3.5.
cards.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that's just it for me. I see at least four yellow cards in this one. I expect a rough game.
Oh,
But then I expect. I mean,
wow, the network
are you
here
there?
is just yes. I'm here. The network is just a bit it's suspect. So I'm saying Pochettino, how would you rate his work with the US team?
Well, he has stabilized the team so far. You know, not that they've actually shot above their weight. At the last tournament they played, they did quite well, right? So Pochettino is an experienced manager.
A very
He's
experienced manager.
he yeah, he handling the US team, you know, they play according to his strength in the sense that Pochettino's teams are always fast, they are always very slick with the ball, lots of passing, lots of attacking, lots of pressing, which is, has always been a part of the US game. I mean, I spoke about Canada being a team that runs a lot, right? And there are similarities
Yeah,
between
yeah, there are
Canada and the
similarities.
USA. USA also
And the
run a
US
lot.
team, true, true.
Yeah, they press, they run a lot, they attack a lot. So, of course, I expect that. So for Pochettino, with his experience and everything, that's why I'm counting on it. Actually, I'm counting on it to get a victory against Paraguay.
Well, so the experience would actually play out. Would actually play out. I also think US is going to win this. I think US is going to win this, and I believe they are going to win normal time, score maybe 2 to 3 goals, and let's say US scores 2 goals. My prediction, I believe US will score about 2 goals.
Oh,
Paraguay might score one, maybe a 2-1. US is going to it's going to be compact. So there's going to be cards just like you said. I believe over 3 cards, maybe 4 or more, but there won't be less than 3 cards in the game. Um,
mm,
Total corner kicks will be over 8.5 corner kicks, and
mm,
um, okay, I think that would be my prediction. US to score at least 2 goals, um, over 3.5, over 3 corners. Sorry, over 3 cards and over 8.5 corners for the US Paraguay game. Yes, Pochettino has done a good job. He has stabilized the US team, so I believe, and the home crowd actually is going to help US a lot. It's going to help US a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to help US a lot. So that's Super Punters prediction for Canada and US. Canada versus Bosnia, US versus Paraguay.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
that's it there.
Then I think that there's also the game between Qatar and Switzerland.
Oh, Qatar and Switzerland. Yes. Okay. Yes. Qatar, Switzerland. What's your take on
But
that?
anyway, that's going to be tomorrow anyway. So we can still really talk about that later on. But of course,
Okay.
Switzerland should be getting a victory
Uh,
over Qatar. Let's
that,
just
ga-
I
that
think
game
that
is
should be
looking like
straightforward.
that's a straight up victory for Swiss. Is a straight up victory for Swiss. But would have
Yeah.
time to talk about that tomorrow. We'll have time to talk about that tomorrow,
Yeah.
and the other big game for tomorrow too. We have time to talk about that tomorrow. So as it stands, these are our predictions for the games: uh, US versus Paraguay and
Yeah. So what about
Bosnia versus Canada.
you?
You were about to say something?
Yeah, I thought we are going to want to talk about yesterday's games. With Mexico and South Africa, um, how it was a low showing. I mean, it didn't sell Africa well,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm not impressed with them at all. And I was so disappointed with the kind of game they played. Couldn't I mean they have a team, right? Many of these guys play for the Mamelodi Sundowns, and
Yes.
that should bring a confidence in the team. One thing is that I think South African football really is not improving. Their league might be doing well on the African continent, but their league is not improving. They need to find the team itself is not improving. Unfortunately, they qualified ahead of Nigeria. I mean,
Unfortunately.
and that's a shame that the South Africa that played what I saw yesterday qualified ahead of Nigeria. Anyway, it's not their fault. It's Nigeria's fault. you know. Um,
Yeah.
but, just look at the needless red card, especially the second red card. That was
Mm,
uncalled for.
was
You're not
needless.
fighting in a boxing. That was very 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 needless. They couldn't coordinate any attack at all.
At all.
Talking about South Africa. I hope
It,
I hope the next 9 African countries that will be playing, you know, the likes of DR Congo, Cape Verde, Ghana, Senegal, Tunisia, all the others. I hope they learn from what South Africa did yesterday and give a very strong performance. Because I mean, I'm not impressed. It's a disgrace for Africa to. It's about the scoreline. It's not even about the scoreline. It's about the performance because
it's the performance. The performance was woeful. It was a woeful performance. We all saw that. It was a woeful performance. It's nothing to write home about. Actually, it's nothing to write home about. But just like you said, I believe every other African team will learn from that. And basically, where I was yesterday when we were watching the match, because of this xenophobic or this xenophobia in South Africa, people were
um,
rooting for Mexico. In Nigeria, yeah,
yeah,
people were rooting for Mexico,
Mexico.
and a whole lot of people were like, "Oh, Mohammed, they beat them. We're safe. That's what we want. We want them out of the tournament and what have you." So it was actually we are supposed to be supporting our own African nation now because of the xenophobia happening in South Africa. Now people are now turning against South Africa. Now, actually, I believe the teams we are actually rooting for in Africa basically is Morocco, Senegal, to actually do us proud. Algeria can actually do one or two. Ghana too on their good
Maybe
day.
Ivory Coast. Maybe Ivory Coast.
Pardon?
Ivory Coast.
Yes, Ivory Coast and Ivory Coast too. Ivory
Ivory
Coast too
Coast.
can.
Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast on their own day, yes, they will. But I don't think we are really open on Cape Verde. We are not really open on even the South Africa, the Congo. If anything happens, it's going to be a surprise. Well, if they can do anything, it's going to be a
Yeah.
pleasant surprise for all Africa because a win for one African nation is a win for all African nations. So
Yeah.
yeah, but South Africa didn't do justice to. And just like you pointed out, it's painful that we were in the same qualifying group and South Africa
Of
qualified
course.
ahead of us. It's a disgraceful thing to the NFF, to us as a nation. If a team that could not just even pass right, they qualify ahead of us. It's we need to sit back and really think. Right
Yeah.
now, we have very good players. In short, we have a
Of
good
course.
team. The coach is doing his best, but
Yeah.
we are now not in the World Cup, and this South
Hmm.
Africa that qualified ahead of us is just doing is well. I pray they get it right in their next match, and so that Africa won't be looked down on like we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And for the second match between South Korea and Czech
Yeah,
Republic,
and Czech Republic.
hmm, Czech Republic scored first in that game. But then, in fact, they even scored a second goal through Thomas Tuchek. But
Okay.
they lost it 2-1 at the end of the day. The one by Tuchek was ruled out for offside. One thing
Offside.
about South Korea, many people or many of us don't watch the South Korean league. I think they call it the K
True.
League, right?
Yeah, the K League, yes.
Um, they're actually good. The way they retain the ball, the way they were passing, it's a far contrast to what South Africa did yesterday, right?
Yeah.
South Korea they outplayed Czech Republic. They were passing on, even when they conceded first, right? In the first half, when they conceded, no, in the second half, yeah. Czech Republic scored the first goal in the second half from a throw in to the header. When they conceded first, they were not panicked. Min
No,
Son
no, no.
had so many chances. He played so many shots. Shout out to the goalkeeper of Czech Republic,
Czech
Nikokova,
Republic.
who is also,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, who was an academy player of Manchester United, still on the books anyways, but on loan. Shout out to him. He made so many saves for Czech Republic yesterday.
For Czech,
But
yeah.
Min Son had 20, and South Korea actually have some good players in them. They've got Kim Min Jae who plays for Bayern Munich. They've got Kangin Lee who plays for PSG. And I think there's another player in the Premier League that so they've got some decent
They've
players
got
in
some
the team.
experienced
But
legs, yeah.
overall, yeah. So even with Czech Republic, with Patrick Schick, with Thomas Tuchek, they couldn't really
Hmm.
muster any good showing apart from set pieces because the Czech Republic players are tall. So they were really maximizing the set pieces, but then it wasn't enough because football is actually played on the pitch and they lost
On
at
the
the end of
pitch,
the day. They played
actually,
on the ground.
actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the K League, actually, as a punter, I actually go to the K League to play games because they score goals. The K League has a whole lot of goals in them. If anybody who loves to pick goals
Okay.
should actually look into K League, and they score a whole lot of goals in that league. So it's a league where over 2.5
Oh,
is sure in most games. So, and yes, they play fast, compact football, which is what actually we saw them play with Croatia, Czech Republic, and yes,
okay.
they are confident enough. Even after conceding, they know that okay, we can do this, and that's what played out totally, and they nicked it. They nicked it. They might be a dark horse in this. In this, there might be a dark
Yeah.
horse. There might be a dark horse.
Yeah. Who
So
knows?
now,
Who knows?
after this first round, we'll actually look at who we will tip to top each group,
Yeah.
because as it's
The
looking okay.
No, no, I want to say that the interesting thing about this World Cup is that there is an opportunity for a third place team to qualify. And
Yes,
even it irks me more that Nigeria is not there because if Nigeria were to be at this World Cup,
we
we
are,
would
we
have
are, we are
qualified to
good
the
at
second
this
round.
third place
Because
qualification. Okay.
there's an opportunity for third place. After at the end of the day, out of 48 teams, 32 will move to the next round,
Yeah, to the
the
round of
second round.
32.
So
Yes, yes,
the
yes,
out
yes.
2 will qualify automatically. Then 8 best, third best teams will also
Yes,
qualify to make it 32. Yeah,
yes,
to
yes,
make it
yes, yes. To
32.
make it
So
32.
that's that's so I think many teams, even the likes of South Africa, can still qualify if they can at least make top place and get a good amount of points. Who knows? They
Yeah,
can.
yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Now, when it gets
So
to
so
the round
that's
of
just it
32, that
anyway.
is where when it gets to the round of 32, that is where it's now all knockouts.
Yeah, of course. It's gonna be knockout, straight up,
Straight up knockouts. So,
straight knockout.
just like you said, and I was rightly corrected by Super Ponta Iberi yesterday, 104 games instead of 64. we're used to 64 games before,
Yeah.
so right now it's 104 games, and
Yeah.
so they play more games, more games, more games. So that's that
Of
for
course.
our predictions for this. See you guys
All right.
tomorrow for updates, catch up, and more on point predictions from Super Punters. Stay blessed.